Welcome to our day stories. Before you start, I recommend subscribing to this channel so you don't miss new videos. Send me your stories in the mail, and they will be voiced in the next video. It was a dark and stormy night when her life took a turn for the worse. Her husband took her out to the countryside for what she thought was a romantic evening, but it turned out to be anything but. As they drove down the deserted road, Eva noticed that her husband was acting strange. He was quiet and distant, and she couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. When they finally pulled over on the side of the road, Eva's worst fears were confirmed. Her husband got out of the car and walked over to her side. He looked at her with cold, empty eyes and said, "I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving you." Eva was stunned. She couldn't believe what was happening. "What are you talking about?" she pleaded. "Why are you doing this?" Her husband just shook his head and got back into the car. He started the engine and drove away, leaving Eva alone on the side of the road. Eva was heartbroken. She had no idea what to do or where to go. She wandered around sobbing in the pouring rain, but she had no idea that things were about to get much worse. As she stumbled through the darkness, Eva came across a group of shady-looking men. They started harassing her, making lewd comments and getting too close for comfort. Eva tried to back away, but they just kept advancing. "Leave me alone," she screamed, but they wouldn't listen. It was then that Eva realized just how vulnerable she was. She was alone, lost, and scared. She managed to break away from the men and continued wandering in the rain. She had no idea where she was going, but she knew that she had to keep moving. The thought of her husband abandoning her was too much to bear. Eva wandered all night, her heart heavy with sadness and fear. She didn't know what the future held, but she knew that she had to keep going. She couldn't give up. As the night wore on, Eva's clothes were soaked through, and she was shivering with cold. She stumbled upon a small village, and the first house she saw had a light on in the window. She knocked on the door, and an older woman answered. "Please, can you help me?" Eva pleaded. "I've been wandering all night. My husband left me by the side of the road, and I have nowhere to go." The woman took one look at Eva's tear-stained face and soaked clothes and invited her inside. She made her a cup of tea and listened as Eva poured out her heart. The woman's kind words and understanding manner were just what Eva needed. After a few hours of rest and a warm meal, Eva felt better. She thanked the woman and set out to find a way home. She had no money and no phone, but she was determined to make it back. Eva eventually found her way to a bus stop and managed to get a ride home. When she arrived, she found that her husband had packed all of his belongings and left. The months that followed were hard for Eva. She struggled to come to terms with what had happened, but she refused to let it break her. She eventually found a job, made new friends, and started to rebuild her life. Years have passed since that dark and stormy night, but Eva has never forgotten what happened. It's a reminder that life can be cruel and unpredictable, but it's also a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Eva's experience taught her that she was stronger than she ever imagined. She learned to rely on herself and to never let anyone else have the power to break her spirit. As time passed, Eva began to heal and move on. She met someone new, someone who treated her with kindness and respect. They fell in love, got married, and started a family together. Eva's husband from that dark and stormy night became a distant memory, but the lessons she learned from that experience stayed with her forever. She never forgot the kindness of the woman who helped her that night, and she made it her mission to pay it forward. Whenever she saw someone in need, Eva did everything she could to help. She volunteered at shelters, donated money to charities, and never turned a blind eye to someone who needed a helping hand. Eva's story is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. It's a testament to the human spirit, to the resilience and strength that we all have within us. And so, as Eva looks back on her life, she knows that everything she went through was worth it. She knows that the pain and heartache she endured made her the person she is today, and she wouldn't have it any other way. Eva's story is one of triumph and resilience, but it's also a cautionary tale. It's a reminder to never let anyone have the power to control or break you, and to always stand up for yourself. Eva's experience also highlights the importance of kindness and compassion. The woman who took her in that night made all the difference, and Eva has never forgotten that. She knows that a small act of kindness can make a huge impact, and she strives to live her life by that principle. Eva's story is not just her own, but it's also the story of countless others who have gone through similar experiences. It's a story of pain and heartache, but it's also a story of hope and healing. For anyone who's going through a difficult time, Eva's story is a reminder that you are not alone. There are people out there who care, who will listen, and who will help you through even the darkest of times. And so, as Eva looks back on her life, she knows that she wouldn't be where she is today without the love and support of those around her. She's grateful for every hardship and every triumph because they all made her the person she is today. As Eva continues to live her life, she's constantly reminded of the lessons she learned on that dark and stormy night. She knows that life can be unpredictable, but she also knows that she has the strength and resilience to face whatever comes her way. Eva has never forgotten the woman who took her in that night, and she's made it her mission to pay it forward. She volunteers at shelters, donates money to charities, and does everything she can to help those in need. But Eva's biggest accomplishment is the family she's built with her husband. They have 2 beautiful children and a home filled with love and laughter. Eva knows that she's been blessed, and she's grateful for every moment she gets to spend with the people she loves. Eva's story is a testament to the power of the human spirit. It's a reminder that no matter what life throws our way, we have the strength and resilience to overcome it. And so, as Eva looks back on her life, she knows that she wouldn't be where she is today without the hardships and challenges she faced. They made her stronger, more compassionate, and more resilient. Eva's story is not just a story of one woman, but it's a story of all of us. It's a reminder that we're all capable of great things, and that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. Eva's story has touched the hearts of many, and she's become a beacon of hope for those who are going through difficult times. She's an inspiration to those who have faced similar challenges, and her story has helped countless people find the strength and courage to keep going. Eva knows that her story isn't over yet. She still has so much to accomplish, so many people to help, and so much love to give. She's excited to see what the future holds, and she knows that no matter what comes her way, she'll be able to handle it. Eva's story is a reminder that even when life seems hopeless, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. It's a reminder that we're all capable of great things, and that we all have the power to make a difference in the world. And so, as Eva continues to live her life, she does so with a sense of purpose and determination. She knows that she's been given a second chance, and she's determined to make the most of it. Eva's story is a reminder that no matter what happens in life, we all have the power to overcome it. We all have the strength and resilience to face whatever comes our way, and we all have the ability to make a positive impact in the world. As Eva looks back on her life, she's filled with a sense of gratitude and awe. She knows that she's been through a lot, but she's also accomplished so much. Eva is proud of the woman she's become, and she's grateful for every challenge and every triumph that has led her to where she is today. She's proud of the family she's built, the friendships she's formed, and the impact she's had on the world. Eva's story is a testament to the power of resilience, compassion, and hope. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always a glimmer of light. And so, as Eva's story comes to a close, she wants to leave one final message for those who are going through difficult times. Never give up. No matter what happens, keep going. You are stronger than you think, and you have the power to overcome any obstacle. Eva's story is proof that even when life seems unbearable, there is always a way forward. It's a reminder that we're all capable of greatness, and that even the smallest act of kindness can make a huge impact. Eva's story is a reminder that life is beautiful, and that even in the midst of pain and heartache, there is always hope. The day started out like any other day for Eva. She woke up early, got dressed, and went about her usual routine. She had no idea that her life was about to change forever. Her husband took Eva out to the countryside, and she wandered all night sobbing in the pouring rain. But she had no idea that this would be the last time she would ever see him. Eva's husband had always been abusive, but she had never had the courage to leave him. She loved him, despite everything he had put her through, and she hoped that things would get better. But that night, things took a turn for the worse. Her husband became violent, and before Eva knew what was happening, he had left her by the side of the road with nothing but the clothes on her back. Eva was devastated. She had nowhere to go, no one to turn to. She wandered around for hours, crying and sobbing, hoping that someone would come to her rescue. But no one came. The rain was pouring down, soaking her to the bone, and she was cold, hungry, and alone. Eva didn't know what to do. She felt lost and hopeless, and she didn't know how she was going to survive. But then, something inside her clicked. She realized that she didn't need her husband to be happy. She didn't need anyone else to define her worth. She was strong, and she was capable of taking care of herself. And so, with a newfound sense of determination, Eva picked herself up and started walking. She didn't know where she was going, but she knew that she had to keep moving forward. And so, Eva's journey began. A journey of self-discovery, healing, and hope. A journey that would lead her to a new life, a new purpose, and a new sense of self. Eva walked for what felt like hours until she came across a small town. She was exhausted, but she knew she had to keep going. She walked into a diner, hoping to find something to eat. The owner, a kind woman named Maggie, took one look at Eva and knew that something was wrong. Maggie took Eva under her wing, giving her a job and a place to stay. Eva was grateful beyond words, and she worked hard to prove her worth. As time went on, Eva began to heal. She made new friends, started to believe in herself again, and even started to dream of a brighter future. But Eva never forgot where she came from. She never forgot the pain and the heartache that she had been through, and she knew that there were others out there who were going through the same thing. And so, Eva started to volunteer at a local shelter for domestic violence victims. She used her own experiences to help others, to give them hope and encouragement, and to let them know that they were not alone. Eva's life had come full circle. She had gone from a broken, lost woman to a beacon of hope and inspiration for others. And as she looked back on her journey, she realized that everything had happened for a reason. Her pain had given her purpose, and her struggles had given her strength. Eva knew that there would be more challenges ahead, but she was ready for them. She had learned that no matter what happened, she was capable of handling anything that came her way. And so, with a smile on her face and a heart full of gratitude, Eva looked up at the sky and whispered, "Thank you." She knew that she had come a long way since the night that her husband had left her by the side of the road. She never thought that she would find happiness again, but here she was, surrounded by people who loved her and supported her. Eva had found a new sense of purpose, and she was determined to make the most of it. She worked hard at the shelter, helping women and children who were in desperate need of someone to believe in them. As time went on, Eva's reputation grew. People in the community began to see her as a symbol of hope and resilience, someone who had been through the worst but had come out on the other side stronger than ever before. And Eva was happy. She had found a new family, a new home, and a new sense of self-worth. She had overcome her past and had created a bright future for herself. As she sat in her room at night, surrounded by pictures of her loved ones and memories of all that she had been through, Eva knew that she was exactly where she was meant to be. And although she couldn't change the past, she was grateful for all that it had taught her. She was grateful for the strength and resilience that she had gained, and she was grateful for the people who had stood by her side through it all. Eva closed her eyes, feeling a sense of peace wash over her. She knew that there would be more challenges ahead, but she also knew that she was ready for them. She was strong, capable, and resilient, and nothing could ever take that away from her. And with that thought in mind, Eva fell asleep, feeling content and at peace with the world. She had come a long way since that fateful night on the side of the road, and she knew that she had a bright future ahead of her. With time, Eva's volunteer work at the shelter became a bigger part of her life. She felt a sense of fulfillment and purpose every time she helped someone in need. One day, a woman named Emily came to the shelter. Emily had been through a similar experience as Eva and was struggling to find her footing. Eva felt an instant connection with her and decided to take her under her wing, just as Maggie had done for her. Eva and Emily became fast friends, and Eva did everything she could to help Emily get back on her feet. She offered her a place to stay, helped her find a job, and provided emotional support every step of the way. As Eva watched Emily's progress, she felt a sense of joy and satisfaction that she had never experienced before. It was as if she was living vicariously through Emily's success, and it gave her a renewed sense of purpose. One day, Emily pulled Eva aside and said, "I don't know what I would do without you. You've been my rock through all of this, and I don't think I could have done it without you." Eva smiled and said, "You don't have to thank me. You're the one who did all the hard work. All I did was help guide you along the way." Emily looked at Eva and said, "No, you did so much more than that. You showed me that there's hope and that I'm not alone. You gave me a reason to keep going when I didn't think I could." Eva felt a lump form in her throat as she hugged Emily. In that moment, she realized that she had truly found her calling in life. She had a purpose, and it was to help others find their way, just as she had found hers. As the years went by, Eva continued to work at the shelter, helping countless women and children escape the cycle of abuse. She never forgot where she came from, and she used her experiences to inspire and guide others. And although there were still moments of sadness and pain, Eva knew that she was exactly where she was meant to be. She had found her purpose in life, and she was grateful for every moment of it. As she looked up at the sky once more, she whispered, "Thank you once again." This time, however, it was not just a thank you for what had happened to her in the past. It was a thank you for all of the opportunities that she had been given, and for the chance to make a difference in the world. As Eva continued to volunteer at the shelter, she met a woman named Emily who had just recently escaped an abusive relationship. Emily was scared and unsure of what to do, but Eva knew exactly how she felt. Eva took Emily under her wing, just as Maggie had done for her. She gave Emily a safe place to stay and helped her get back on her feet. Over time, Eva and Emily grew closer. They shared their stories and their dreams, and they soon realized that they had fallen in love. For the first time in a long time, Eva felt truly happy. She had found someone who understood her, who supported her, and who loved her for who she was. Together, Eva and Emily continued to work at the shelter, helping other women who were going through the same struggles that they had faced. And as they did, they knew that they were making a difference. Eva had never imagined that her life would turn out like this. She had never thought that she would find love again, let alone with someone who shared her passion for helping others. But as she looked into Emily's eyes, she knew that she was exactly where she was meant to be. Her journey had been long and difficult, but it had led her to this moment, to this love. And so, with a smile on her face and a heart full of love, Eva knew that she was ready for whatever came next. She had found her purpose, and she had found her home. Eva's work at the shelter became her passion. She spent most of her days listening to the stories of other women, encouraging them to find the strength to leave their abusive partners. She knew that her experience had given her the ability to connect with the women on a deeper level, and she used that connection to empower them. Over time, Eva became a well-known figure in the community. She was invited to speak at events and conferences, sharing her story and inspiring others to do the same. Her work touched countless lives, and she continued to make a difference in the lives of those who needed it most. But as much as Eva loved her work, she couldn't help but feel like something was missing. She longed for a sense of closeness and companionship, something that she had been deprived of for so long. One day, while at the shelter, Eva met a man named Jack. He was kind, compassionate, and shared her passion for helping others. They quickly became friends, and as they spent more time together, Eva realized that she had developed feelings for him. It took some time, but Eva eventually worked up the courage to tell Jack how she felt. To her surprise, he felt the same way. They started dating, and for the first time in a long time, Eva felt like she had found someone who truly understood her. Jack was patient and understanding of Eva's past, and he never judged her for the things she had been through. He loved her for who she was, and he supported her in her work at the shelter. Together, Eva and Jack built a life filled with love and purpose. They continued to work together at the shelter, helping others find their way to safety and healing. And as they walked hand in hand down the street, Eva felt like she had finally found the happiness that had eluded her for so long. Looking back on her journey, Eva knew that she had been through some of the toughest times imaginable. But she also knew that those struggles had made her who she was. They had given her the strength to overcome anything, and they had led her to the place where she was meant to be. As she leaned in for a kiss from Jack, Eva closed her eyes and whispered, "Thank you once again." This time, it was for everything she had been through, and for the love and happiness that had come after it. Over time, Eva became a pillar of strength and support for the women she helped at the shelter. She shared her story with them, listened to theirs, and helped them in any way she could. One day, a woman named Sarah came to the shelter. She was in a similar situation to what Eva had been through, and she was scared and unsure of what to do. Eva sat with Sarah, holding her hand and telling her that she understood how she felt. She promised Sarah that she would do everything in her power to help her and make sure she was safe. Together, Eva and Sarah worked on a plan to escape the abuse. They went over every detail, making sure that Sarah would be able to leave safely and without being detected. Finally, the day came when Sarah was ready to leave. Eva was there with her every step of the way, guiding her and giving her the strength she needed to make it through. They made it to the shelter safely, and Eva watched as Sarah started to heal. She saw the same determination and strength in Sarah that she had once seen in herself. And as she looked at Sarah, Eva realized that her journey had come full circle once again. She had gone from being lost and alone to finding her own strength and purpose, to helping others find theirs. Eva knew that there was still so much work to be done, so many women who needed help and support. But she was ready for it, because she had learned that there was nothing she couldn't handle. And so, Eva continued to help women at the shelter, one by one, showing them that there was a way out and that they could find happiness and safety. She knew that her own journey had been difficult, but she was grateful for it. Because without it, she wouldn't have been able to help others find their own strength and hope. And as she looked back on everything she had been through, Eva knew that she had truly found her purpose in life. Eva's life had come full circle. She had gone from a broken, lost woman to a beacon of hope and inspiration for others. And as she looked back on her journey, she realized that everything had happened for a reason. Her pain had given her purpose, and her struggles had given her strength. Eva knew that there would be more challenges ahead, but she was ready for them. She had learned that no matter what happened, she was capable of handling anything that came her way. And so, with a smile on her face and a heart full of gratitude, Eva looked up at the sky and whispered, "Thank you." She had finally found peace and happiness in her life. She had discovered that true strength comes from within, and that the support and love of others can make all the difference. Eva's story had inspired countless people, and she knew that her journey was not just her own, but a shared experience with all those who had struggled and triumphed over adversity. And so, Eva continued to live her life with purpose and compassion, spreading hope and kindness wherever she went. And as she did, she knew that her journey was far from over, but that she was ready for whatever lay ahead. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and see my other videos.